feet. We may pretty them up, but let's face it, feet aren't the most attractive part of most of us. And yet, feet is at least one place that we can turn to and focus on this day. Now, back in the ancient world, when roads weren't paved, and especially in Palestine where folks would wear sandals, at the end of a day, feet would be dirty and dusty and hot and sweaty and stinky and smelly. Now, when folks would gather for a meal, gather for a celebration, it was the job of the lowest servant, the one lowest on the totem pole, to wash the feet of everyone. Now, today we turn to the 13th chapter of John's Gospel, and yes, there are feet there. Jesus is gathered with his friends, his disciples, to celebrate the Passover feast. And here there are at least 13 sets there of dirty, dusty, stinky, smelly, hot and sweaty feet. And yet no one does anything. Hear the way that Max Lucado describes the scene. It's not easy watching Jesus wash those feet. To see the hands of God massaging the toes of his disciples doesn't seem right. The disciples should be washing his feet, but they don't. No one does. Peter and John should bring the basin. Nathaniel should pour the water. Andrew should carry the towel. Rather than serve, they argue. They argue who's the greatest. And as they argue, the basin sits untouched in the corner, the towel unused, the apron hangs on the wall unworn. No one moves but Jesus. Jesus removes his robe and takes the servant's wrap off the wall. He kneels and begins. And after he finishes all 12 sets of feet, he speaks. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. See my example as I washed your feet, so you are to wash one another's feet. Did you notice that? Jesus washed all of their feet, including Judas's feet. And then Jesus says, today I give you a new commandment. It is what gives this day its name, Maundy Thursday, Maundy from the Latin word mandatum, for mandate or commandment. Love one another, but really there's nothing new about that command, is there? Back in Deuteronomy and all through Scripture, we hear over and over again, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And then in Leviticus, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus says, when asked what is the greatest commandment, he lifts these two. For he says, these sum up all of the law and the prophets. There's nothing new about this commandment, and yet on this day, Jesus gives new meaning to that commandment. He shows us what love looks like. Love kneels down. Love takes on the jobs nobody else wants to do. Love is active. He shows us what love looks like. So I wonder for us on this day, as we focus on this new commandment, what does it look like for us to love one another? What does it look like for us to love our community? What does it look like for us to love our world? Blessings to you.